I think I just had an idea on how to mount all this stuff. Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. I am super excited for this video because I think I finally have my bed setup dialed in, at least for this specific moment in time. Okay guys, so I'm gonna give you a general walkthrough going over everything I've done in the bed so far. This is sort of like a continuation of the last video, which showed what I did to mount the full-size spare and why I chose that location and all that stuff. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out, linked right here. I don't keep all this stuff in the bed at all times. I just wanted to get it in place, like certain things I knew where I wanted to put them so I could see what I have room for other like smaller items. Obviously the big ticket items, the full-size 35-inch spare taking up the rear wall or front wall, I always get that backwards, on the molly panel. Power tank right here, and then I've got the two Rotopax over here. The main thing that was giving me a hang up was what I was going to do with my high lift jack. I'll go over that in more detail in just a second, but there it is. And as it sits right now, I still have 3 feet across and 4 feet of open bed space, which I think is fantastic considering the larger items I have mounted back here. So still plenty of floor space here, either like vertical or horizontal or, you know, long ways or whatever, to put a few boxes holding like trail tools or camping stuff, all of that. So really excited about that right off the bat, that I still have all that usable floor space. And as I go through everything, there's still a bunch of like little spaces you'll see where I can mount stuff. And as you can see right here, I still have an obscene amount. Quick fist to mount little tools and such, but they're there if I need them. So we're gonna start right here and just sweep on around.
Sweep, sweep.
All right guys, so I talked about a lot of this stuff in that other video. I mentioned the water port, it wasn't actually mounted on it, but there you can see no water in it right now, but that is where I wanted to have that. Fits perfectly. And you can see like the more things you add, the more you have to juggle and like figure out what stuff is gonna go where. Like specifically with the best top super top, I had to leave space here, you can see there, and in the back for like the mounts, and of course on the other side. So, and obviously like these would get in the way of the water port up here on the top. So it's a bunch of little pieces, so really just keep that in mind as we go through this stuff. It takes a lot of planning, and obviously the chances of any of you guys having the exact same equipment that I have back here are slim to none, but the purpose of this video is just to show what I've done to my truck, of course, and just to give you ideas of like how to mount your water port or maybe your high lift, or you know, some of that stuff, because I'm sure some of you have at least 1 or 2 of these items in your bed, or maybe you're looking for ideas on how to store them efficiently. And I do just have the water port mounted. I can't remember if these are the Quick Fist long arms or the Super Quick Fist, but plenty of room, holds it nice and secure. And of course right here in the corner I've got 2 Rotopax cases. This first one, which I'm not sure if they make it anymore. I know they make like an orange first aid box, but it's like dry storage and it looks pretty small. It holds a surprising amount of stuff, but I've got tons of stuff in there, from gloves to twine, you name it, all kinds of stuff. And I have this mounted on my Rotopax fuel packs. I want to say that's the 2.5 gallon, can't remember for sure, it doesn't even have fuel in it right now. With the regular Rotopax base mount with an adapter that extends that, and then the locking Rotopax handle right here, so those two are tucked out of the way. Now the main addition I'm excited to share with you guys is my high lift jack. This is the 60-inch high lift jack, which I initially was going to mount on this molly panel, because this molly panel came with 2 of these studs right here that actually go through the holes right here on the high lift and hold that securely in place. And it would have fit just fine, except I've got the bed stiffeners over here which contacted it right there, and I didn't really feel like lopping off part of my high lift jack. Didn't feel like getting a 48-inch one, so I was sort of in a conundrum about what to do with the high lift jack. I was thinking about putting it on the roof rack, which is certainly an option, but then it's exposed to the elements. And again, not like I'm gonna keep it in here all the time. I've got the protective bag on it and all that stuff. And then after that, I knew I wanted it in the bed, but since given the length, it was sort of making it a headache. Didn't want to get a new high lift. I was flirting with the idea of getting some kind of like heavy steel L bracket to mount with some T-nuts in the bed rail to sort of have it sit over either on this side or the opposite side, probably this side just because of the power tank right there. And then, I don't know, it was quickly getting out of hand and just getting a little ridiculous, and then I finally realized the base, the foot I guess, of the high lift jack has plenty of holes in it right here, and one of the holes right there lines up perfectly with one of the holes on the molly panel back there, so I just have that bolted in I'll probably swap that out for like a stainless steel wing nut, but again, this isn't going to be in the truck all the time. And it rests perfectly. Of course, I have this high lift box right here, which is again dry storage for gloves, rope, anything like that. It's empty right now. A few wing nuts holding that on the high lift, so that is secured in the back with a bolt, here on the side right there by the fender with the plastic from this. And then just for a little bit more stability, I literally just have this bungee cord nice and tight to the bed stiffener on this side. The way I have this mounted might not be the best thing if you wanted to leave your high lift jack in your truck all the time, since it's not like secured from thieves, but it is what it is, so I'm not going to leave it in the truck as it is. And we have a cop pulling up. Let's see if he wants to talk about what the hell I'm doing over here. Fingers crossed. Let's see the cop turning around. I think he went on his way.
Step out of the bed.
I don't know. It seems like every time I come to this parking lot, the police are always here and they're curious as to what I'm doing. They haven't stopped to talk to me yet, but moving on. I already went over the tire setup. Now that it's here, I mean, it's just like a cosmetic thing. I want to get like a black ratchet strap just to make that blend in. And of course, since I'm using this ratchet strap just to mount and hold the tire, I got to trim a little more off this. I think it was like a 20-footer at first, but I just sort of wrapped that around. But I'll go ahead and cut off. I think I have an excess like 3 feet. I'll probably trim another, I don't know, 1.5 or 2 feet off of that just to clean it up. But while we're here on the back wall, I still have a little space over here, and yes, a little, to mount something on the MOLLE panel. And of course, a little more space here to put something taller. I don't know. I still need to mount a shovel somewhere. I do have a full size, but I don't think that's gonna work anymore. Flirting with the idea of getting like one of those folding shovels. I might be able to squeeze that in down here. And since I just mentioned it, I also have a full-size Fisker's axe, but I found this one on Amazon discounted. So I figured it'd be a lot easier to mount these like smaller size hand tools versus the big tools. They should be just as efficient on the trail, or like 95% efficient as the larger one. This should work for me. Easily mounts right there with a few quick fists. And one thing I almost forgot I have, if you guys didn't know, I don't have a garage at my townhouse, so all of my truck stuff and parts and things I've bought for the truck and haven't installed are just sort of piled in the basement relatively neatly, but sometimes things get lost, and I almost forgot I have this high lift base. You just tuck this in, you can't see it because it's bolted, on the foot of your high lift just to give you a bigger footprint, like in unstable ground like sand or, you know, mud or whatever, so it doesn't slip on you. So I just have that ran through. Again, it lined up perfectly with a slot in the MOLLE panel, just with a nylock. That might stay on the truck all the time because, I don't know, that doesn't seem like a high dollar item someone would have their eye on. Someone would probably see it and not really know what the heck it is. So that might stay on there all the time. And of course, just sitting on the passenger side fender, up and out of the way. I'm glad I found this. I actually did this morning because I had this open space here with the hatchet mounted right there. I wanted to put something there. Had no idea what I was actually going to put there and what would fit with like what I had left or like anything else I might need. So glad I found this, taking up that space. And of course, you guys have seen this one mounted before in that other video. The 20-pound power tank, liquid CO2, ready to fill my tires up in like 40 seconds flat. Got this one double locked when I'm actually going to keep it on the truck for any period of time. Again, I definitely don't leave this on the truck overnight. Way too expensive to risk that. Protective hat on that, but that was something that was sort of hanging up like where I was going to mount everything else to. And I just realized I missed a perfect opportunity since I just mounted this. You guys know I love sort of like hardware and stuff to sort of blend in. I recently painted the mounts for the Best Top Super Top, 4 of these. They're just aluminum, just like this. Painted those matte black. I realized I screwed up. I should have painted this matte black while it was off, but I don't know. I might leave it. Comment below if you think I should paint it or not. And then in the corner right over here, this is like a folding saw. It's got multi-blades for, you know, cutting branches and stuff like that. Just to, I mean, obviously that's not going to be on the truck all the time. Just wanted to put something in this space over here, but obviously that's quite a bit of space. It's about 10 inches across. I could put something larger.
Get to the chopper!
Alright guys, so that is what I currently have set up in the bed, aside from, of course, like a toolbox, camping, stuff like that, which I would obviously just throw in when I'm going off-roading and strap that down or whatever. But if you can think of anything else I might need, big or small, you guys know I love putting things on the truck that I might actually have room for to fit in the bed as it currently sits, comment below and let me know. And of course, also let me know what you think of the current setup. I don't know if it's a police helicopter, but there's a helicopter that is circling around. I don't know if I'm being paranoid, but at think they're looking at what I'm doing, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video.